Yo, my people, what up, everybody? It's Mark Ellert. Today, I'm going to let you all get into this blind man's head for a little bit. True story. You want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts. No, for real though. Some of you may know about my background. I lost my vision at the age of 19 because of a traumatic brain injury. So going from 20/20 vision to total blindness, now that I've been blind for 19 years, half of my life, I want you guys to have some insight. I want you guys to get into my head and understand the psychology of what it was like for me to go blind. Best way to describe it is, you know that feeling when you get when you come home from an outing, you're out and about doing your thing, you come home in the middle of the night and the lights won't turn on. It's just you keep flicking the light switch and you realize the power went out. You have absolutely no electricity. It's just one of those feelings like, well, that sucks. You just keep flicking that light switch and there's just nothing you can do about it. It's a feeling, it sucks, but there's nothing you can do about it. So you just got to deal with it. That's how my vision loss feels, actually. It feels like it sucks, but it's doable. Like, when the power goes out and you realize it, it's your house, it's your environment. You put everything where it is, so you know where everything is. But I grew up my whole life with vision. I have that. I'm used to being able to see things. It's that normal. So when you don't see it, it doesn't feel right. You have that questioning where you don't trust yourself as much. You're like, okay, the table's right there, but wait. And you're slower when you're approaching it because your time and distance, your space, your angles. What's the word I'm looking for? Depth perception. Your depth perception can be really thrown off with my vision loss. It's like I know where the table is, but sometimes it takes a little bit to get that muscle memory to know how to find it without your vision. So it took me a while to adapt, everyone. For the first couple of years, it was that feeling coming home and the power was out. I had no electricity. Some of you all have roommates and some of you have kids and stuff. It's your environment. You know it, but you don't know what your roommates did. You don't know if your kids left stuff out. So it's your space and everything, and you're comfortable and confident, but it's always that, ooh, that what if. You have this weariness. You have this little bit of distrust where it's just because you're so used to seeing and you don't, it feels so much different operating in the dark. Because you're like, oh yeah, the wall's right here. You turn too fast, wham, wall. It's stuff like that where your depth perception can be a little bit off. And even though you're really confident and you know your surroundings, there's things that you just feel weary. You want to take a slower steps and you're a little more precautious with the way that you're operating and moving around. Because it's just like when I had my vision and I wake up in the middle of the night to go use the bathroom, I didn't want to turn a light on. I didn't need to. It's my environment. I lived there for so long. I knew exactly where the bathroom was. I walked straight to the bathroom and come straight back to bed. So after losing my vision, it's that feeling that I can't turn the light on, so I want to be able to. So when I first lost my vision and I was going to the bathroom, I would trail the wall. I would find landmarks and try to help me get there and back. But some of you know I've been living in this apartment now for about 8 years. I'm completely comfortable and confident. It's just like when I had my vision again. It's muscle memory. I just get up and walk straight to the bathroom and don't think about it. Same thing when I come home from everything I do and everywhere I go. I'm at this point, I've adjusted. I've adjusted to that feeling where I know I can't turn the lights on. I've accepted it. So I'm not so precautious and weary and freaking out. It's, I'm still careful. I'm slowly moving a little bit and everything. I'm not taking turns real fast and just knowing where everything is. I have that natural precaution that I could have forgot something, that something's left out, that my depth perception is different. There's all those circumstantial things where I'm a little bit more precautious, but I've completely adapted and adjusted to it where I don't have nearly as much uneasiness about it. It's just I've accepted this is what it is. I'm not turning the lights on. I'm dealing with it, everybody. And that's why I'm so much more comfortable and confident in my apartment. But that's another good example is like when I'm out and about in the environment, out in society and stuff, outdoors, I use my cane. I use my cane to help navigate because it helps me get information and help protect myself and just travel really efficiently. But sometimes when I'm in my apartment or other people's houses, my cane can be a little more encumbersome. It can actually be a little bulky and get in the way. Some of you know my cane is 52 inches tall. It comes up to my shoulder. It's got some it's got some length to it. So when I'm holding that in my arm, it also take my entire arm length. That's a good amount of distance. When you're in an apartment in someone's house, that's a big distance for you to be moving your cane around. Sometimes when you pull it in and choke it up a little bit, doesn't feel as right. So it can be a little encumbersome and stuff. Like when you're in a hallway and you go to turn, boom, you're hitting the wall. When you're going down thin corridors and stuff, the cane can be more of an obstacle and get in the way sometimes. Because plus, I don't want to be disrespecting my friends and people's environments. I don't want to be whacking my cane all over, hitting tables and hitting animals and infants and knocking things over. I try to respect people's environment. Because my cane is made out of carbon graphite. So that thing's like, whoa, it's difficult to break it, but I can break stuff with it. So I try to be careful. I don't want to be whacking people's stuff in their house with my cane and stuff. So when I go to other people's houses, just like at my house, I don't use my cane. I put all the furniture everywhere. I know where everything is. It's easy to use my hands to navigate. But in other people's houses, I'm not using my cane, but it's that feeling of like the power went out. It's much stronger because I've been living here for a while and I know my environment so great. Other people's environments, it's like my brother and sister-in-law, it's like my girlfriend, best friends, family members. I've been at their house hundreds of thousands of times. I've been there for years and I know exactly where everything is. But it's still, because I grew up my life with vision, it's a feeling like I walked into their apartment and I can't turn the light on. It's a feeling like they have no power or electricity. And I'm just like, oh, this sucks. I got to be a little more slower, a little more precautious with my moving in the way that I do things, because it's better to be safe than sorry. Some of you may know when I first lost my vision, I was a little too careless and too confident. Like, I got this. And I would just wing it and just, yeah, I'd be running into stuff. And as at one point, I fell down a flight and a half of stairs. I got knocked out unconscious, dislocated and broke my middle finger, as well as I dislocated a few other fingers in my left hand. At one point, I fell in a friend's pool in his backyard. I was just doing the do, hanging out, walking around, bam, in the pool. So I've had some incidences, everybody. A couple of years ago, at my buddy's tattoo shop, actually, I was getting inked up, having some fun. We took a break for a minute. At one point, I was drinking out of soda or something, and I dropped the bottle. Oh no, I dropped the bottle and went to bend over and pick it up, and wham! I didn't realize I was sitting right in front of the table. I literally headbutted the table in front of me, attempting to pick up my drink. So everybody, I've learned to actually be a little more precautious. I've learned to not turn corners so fast. I've learned to understand my depth perception is off now. Things are different. I don't operate the same way I did when I have my vision. So I've learned how to operate a different way. But again, I've been able to adjust and adapt to it. I've accepted I'm in the dark 24/7 and I can't turn the light on. I've accepted I have to move slower and do things more precautious. I don't hold it against myself. I don't think it's a problem, or I don't find it problematic or anything. I'm just trying to protect myself and do me. I'm doing the do. I'm a blind man, so I operate the way a blind man does, everybody. That's why I want you to know, if you ever acquire a different ability, if you have to go through some changes and stuff, you're not going to have that mental and emotional attachment the whole time. Trauma will be forever. It's not going to go away and everything. I still remember what it's like to be sighted, and it's rough. But I've learned to accept it, and I've learned to adjust and adapt, everybody. And I can carry with me that mental and emotional distress. You learn to adjust and adapt to it, everyone. If I can do it, you can do it, everyone. Trust me. I want you to be confident and trust yourself and just find the right ways to be able to operate in a good way to help yourself, everyone. Self-preservation is the way to do it, everybody. Until next time, everyone, keep it sexy, make good choices. I'll catch you on the flip side.